Hey everybody, welcome to a Pioneer video. This is number 4 in my series of PT testing. We're 6 days out from PT Phoenix right now. The PT Brussels deck lists were due last night, so people are starting to post them. And it looks like Mono Black Aggro was a big loser and Blue Black Inverter was a big winner. Um, I think this 5-color Niv deck is really good against Blue Black Inverter, and this is a deck that I'm into anyway. Like, this is totally my style. So I'm trying it out tonight. Um, this is actually my second league with the deck. However, my power went out 2.5 hours into recording the first league, so was just incinerated. There was no way to save the video. I'm sorry for that. So we lost several hours of gameplay with this deck. Um, but I'm just gonna fire up another one. Life goes on. I was really impressed with this deck. We steamrolled everybody who was trying to win with creatures, and we got crushed by ramp. And then we split the difference with blue black inverter. Though I think the matchup's favored. We lost a squeaker to blue black inverter once, and we just completely shithoused it one other time. So here's the deck. Let's get into the queue. Okay, so we're on the draw in the first match. This hand is not functional. It doesn't ramp. It's not even close to casting any of the spells in it. This hand is also not great, but I'm going to keep it. In being on the draw, it also cantrips and ramps. Like, this has potential. It's got all 5 colors in it. Like, maybe it doesn't have all 5 colors because, yeah, blue, black, white, blue, green, black. Yeah, it does have all 5 colors. All right. Yeah, the basic land and the redundancy of black, like 3 black sources, look dangerous for a second, but we're actually fine. All right, so we're playing against some sort of Heliod combo deck. Those are the only decks that play Idyllic Grange. So I'm going to save my Fabled Passage. I'm in no rush to use that, and I don't know what color I need yet. The answer is probably red, but I can figure that out when I get there. That's not a big deal. Uh-oh. Turn to Ballista. Okay, good. We drew Dreadbore. So that's good because if they just play Heliod this turn, we would have died if we didn't draw a spot removal spell. Just on their next turn. So the plan changed a little bit right here. All right, I'm going to fetch some red. Yeah, I'm not interested in just dying to the combo. My mana just got super awkward because I had to fetch that red along the way and my hand's full of blue spells, but I think it'll be okay. They're not exactly coming out of the gates blazing. They're taking turn 3 to go nick those go is not pretty exciting. Good thing we didn't Euro. They would have just got right up. Okay, sweet. So now that we have Bring to Light, that's Niv-Mizzet next turn. So I'm going to play the Uro. I didn't play the Teferi because bouncing Knight of the White Orchid just ramps them because I'm totally going to have more lands than them. Alright, so we've got black, red, blue, green, white. Yeah, so these lands do make 5 different colors. Oh, Gideon Tribal, sure. 4, 5. It takes 9 mana to combo from nothing. Like, if you don't have Heliod or Ballista in play, you need 9 mana to kill your opponent. So I think we're safe to spend a turn summoning Niv-Mizzet. Red, blue, green, white. Alright, so I have to make a choice. I would rather have Supreme Verdict than Teferi. And Questing Beast is ready to just pound this Gideon. Like, none of their creatures can block Questing Beast. They all have power 2 or less. It's also possible our opponent just scoops here, because we are so far ahead. Alright, Thraben Inspector is free because it costs 1 and adds 1 devotion, so that was pretty sweet. Tight little plays there. 5 mana. Oh dear, Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, that's a card that exists. Alright, they're bringing the pain. Non-creature spells cost more, sure. Alright, and we're suddenly in lots of trouble somehow. Alright, so I don't have double white to Supreme Verdict. Bring to light, I could get Tolzamir. I'm not sure that does anything. Questing Beast. Like, I don't have 3 green. If I had 3 green, this turn would be pretty easy. I guess I could Thought Erasure them and then Questing Beast. But then I take 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just dead. I can't even do that. Wow, that's rough. Is the game just over? Alright, what can I do with this Bring to Light? So, Supreme Verdict's in my hand. I can't go get it. I could get Tolzamir. I guess I could get Dreadbore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take 5. I go to 3. No, Dreadbore's in my graveyard. I already cast that. So maybe I just have to get Tolzamir. Yeah, Elspeth Conquers Death. I have not seen that card cast and constructed, but it's certainly pretty good here. Alright, so this will put me to 11, kill one of their creatures, and put 2 creatures on board for me. Gonna take out the Knight. It has first strike and it's 2 devotion. So a lot more interested in that than the other options. Conquer's Death is interesting because they can regrow. Like, if they just play Heliod here, they can regrow Ballista on their turn with a +1 counter and then just go off. So they'll have 3, 4 mana. Alright, they don't quite have the mana to do that, because Conquer will be gone. I guess they can float the mana. Alright, Stasis Snare. Alright, they went after Tolzamir. That's good news. So I can decay the snare and re-trigger. Alright. That was pretty good. figure out if they just want to attack with Gideon. It's probably just Gideon. Like, why are you throwing your cards in the graveyard? Oh, this is a legend. So I'm definitely going to chump with it. Because when I... Oh, that's still fine. Yeah. I'm going to chump with that because it's a legendary token, and next turn when I regrow, or when I get back my Tolzamir, I want to be able to fight. Ooh, can I cast Siege Rhino and... I still can't Questing Beast and Abrupt Decay, which is what I really want to do with my life. But can I Rhino? Black, white, green... Black, yeah, I cannot, because my white source is also my green source. So I can't Rhino. I Thought Erasure, so I can Erasure, Caryatid. Okay, so I can Erasure them, and cast Caryatid, and cast Abrupt Decay. Oh, no, I can't do that. Because they have that trigger is in place. All right. So I think I just have to play Caryatid and chip. That was kind of brutal. Alright, so they get to regrow Ballista or Knight. I do have more lands than them, so Knight will get them a trigger. Alright, they went for Ballista though. Alright, yeah, I just gotta hope that this Abrupt Decay is a huge blowout. So if I fight the Ballista, I'm not sure if I gain 3 life or not if they pop the Ballista in response. Because I think the ability would fizzle. Alright, so there's Heliod. I think they saw this off Niv-Mizzet, so they know they should get Heliod into play. Maybe not if they're moving to combat, though. Alright, now they figured it out. Okay. Alright, so green, black. This back. I want to fight Ballista with it. Get that out of here. Do not gain 3 life. Block. So that puts me to 2, and they have a 3/3 flyer, so that's not good. If I block here, here, and here, I think that saves me the most damage. So if I play Teferi next turn, white, blue... Yeah, if I need to draw a green source, and if I do, if I draw Teferi, I can actually kill Gideon. Oh wait, no, I have Caryatid in play. So if I just go to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm going to go to 2 and hope they don't draw Ballista ever for the rest of the game. Okay, so Questing Beast, green, green. Right, so Teferi first, white, blue, colorless. I'll banish their owl to the Shadow Realm. Drew a land. Green, green, 1, 2. Questing Beast. Attack my opponent, attack Gideon. Alright, and I have 2 blockers back. So when they play Owl this turn, I'm not just dead to their 5/5 attacker. Owl can find, gives them looks at Ballista. Oh, they just fucking had it. Alright, never mind. Well played. Okay. In we go again. So they can't remove this. And Dreadbore is nice. And I don't really care about thought erasing them. I think that's all I want to do here. Alright, my hand has colors, it ramps, it denies their combo. I'm gonna get Plains with Fabled Passage. Those Plains gets me closest to casting Teferi in case something goes wrong with my Paradise Druid. So we're going to need some lands at some point here, deck. Alright, obviously not blocking. Bummer. Alright. Unfortunately, we have to bounce this thing to give them card advantage, but we've missed on our land draw. Ugh. Alright, bad times. If they stasis snare this, if they smell weakness and just go for it, we are so dead. Yep. They've been paying attention. Okay, what does that do? Does that cast any of my cards? Nope. Still playing it, but play it tapped because it doesn't do anything. Yeah, so like this deck is outrageously powerful, but it is trying to cast 5 mana spells, 5 mana spells of 5 different colors. So the danger of stumbling or not having the right colors does exist, which has been evident in this match so far. Okay. Things are moving forward. If I draw an untapped black source, I can Niv next turn. But all of the cards in my hand are literally uncastable. Do not have the requisite colors. Alright, so they get to exile Teferi. That's fine. That basically just makes me lose 3 life. Because they could attack it to dead anyway. Alright, let's draw an untapped black source. Just go to Niv-Mizzet town. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Black, white, green, red, blue. I think I would rather have Bring to Light than Euro. It's close though, because Euro gains life and draws maybe lands. But Bring to Light is any spell in my deck, including Euro. So, yeah, I'll just take that one. I don't think I'm going to cast 3 of these this game. There's Heliod. Do they also have Ballista? Alright, pass the turn. No Ballista, yes. Alright, so this will deny them the combo. I just got to figure out how to beat what's on board. I definitely can't attack here. Hopefully I can thread this needle now. Heliod is a serious creature, so just Elspeth Sun's Champion off the top. That's pretty good. Alright, I can Dreadbore that and play Teferi, bounce Heliod. Yeah, pretty sure I'm dead here. They attack for 7 right now, put me to 7, and then, yeah, Gideon plus all this crap. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright, unexciting start. Missing land drops in our 5 mana 5 color deck is not where you want to be. So these are my results from the last league. Adding to the data for PT testing, and then we'll be back with the next one. Okay, it's round 2. We're on the play with a hand that doesn't do anything. Another hand that doesn't do anything. There's 26 lands in this deck. You might not be able to tell that from the last match we played and the fact we're about to mulligan to 5, but yeah, almost half the deck is lands. Okay, finally a keeper. So I'm keeping this and this for sure. Nihiri's pretty good. And we can turn 3 her, probably. But I think she's not... Alright. I'm bottoming Nihiri and Concealed Courtyard. I wish I could keep them. That 7 would have been great, but unfortunately, here we are. I just think Euro will... It replaces itself. It gets deeper into the deck, which is what we need when we're on this mulligan. Are we getting Thought Seized also? Alright, we didn't get Thought Seized. So they have Opt or Fatal Push. And we're almost certainly playing against Inverter. So I think this matchup is good, but you do need to pressure them meaningfully. Wrecked. Alright, let's just draw a Siege Rhino and get on board. Alright, that wasn't it. I'm not going to attack for 2. They play 4 Fatal Push in their main deck, which is mostly a dead card, and by attacking with Paradise Druid, I turn it on. So I don't want to give them that opportunity. And in this matchup, you're going to win by a lot if you win. Like, it's not really about, like, nickel and diming, finding your damage here and there. Like, it's about casting a giant unbeatable series of spells. Okay, Teferi was a good draw because even if we drew like Niv-Mizzet or Bring to Light, we could get censored, which is no good. So I've never seen Spell Pierce in one of these lists, but I'm not gonna... Like, I can play around it pretty easily here, so I will. Like, this matchup isn't about life totals. Alright, what are you doing here, opponent, with this mana? They can't Murderous Cut, can't Fatal Push. They could cycle a land, I guess, but they don't need to respond to Teferi to do that. Okay, after much waffling, Teferi just resolves. I'm going to draw a card right now. They don't have really permanents in their deck, so getting my card so I can start plussing Teferi. I probably could have attacked pretty safely there. Like, I have tons of mana, but I still don't really want to turn on Fatal Push. Because if they Fatal Push there, then they could go land dig on their turn. And we knew they had the land. There it is. Oh, we're just getting straight up inverted right now. So they have Jace or Oracle in hand. Looks like they just have the Goldfish. Alright, so what do I want to draw? I want to draw Thought Erasure, or Bring to Light for Thought Erasure. That didn't do it. Alright, yeah, they wouldn't have done that if they didn't have it, so we're just dead. Okay, so Thought Erasure, Slaughter Games, those are coming in. Supreme Verdict, not great. Questing Beast, not great. Siege Rhinos, whatever. Cut to Ribbons, not great. I like these Rakdos' returns. I like Mystical Dispute too. Alright, what else is going to get cut? I don't need 2 Abrupt Decays. They don't have a whole lot of targets for this. They sideboard into some other stuff, like Thief of Sanity, Pack Rat, Ashiok. All cards they could have. I like Utter End in case they have Scarab God. So I'll cut one of my Druids, just because I have better cards now. Alright, so I'm going to keep this hand on the play. It has the most important card in the matchup, which is Thought Erasure. Yeah, so I'll get Swamp with this Fabled Passage and then erase their thoughts. Hope I don't get Thoughtseize turn 1. Alright, dodged. Ooh, tough call. I think I want to Erasure, though. Because if they... Like, if they Thoughtseize me and take Thought Erasure, then my hand doesn't interact with them anymore. And I really want to clear this inverter before it's a problem. Into the graveyard you go. Alright, so we're going to get Thoughtseize. They're going to take Uro. I'm still fine with Caryatid, because games where I have Caryatid in play are so much better than ones I don't. But at the same time, I would have liked to. Oh, I guess they have Mystical Disputes. Oh, ooh, that's a surprising choice. So they could dispute Uro, so I just won't even play it. I'll save it for later. Caryatid ramps also, and tends to resolve. It sucks that they have Opt and Mystical Dispute, because that means they can use their mana even if I don't play a card into the dispute. But congratulations on having a functional hand. That happens sometimes in Magic. Opt to the bottom. So they have the Jace and they have protection. They're just looking for an inverter right now. Really hoping to draw a non-blue spell there, but I didn't. So I'll just cast this thing. There's worse targets. Oh, okay. Resolved. I guess it just dies anyway. It's just a ramp spell, so you let this one resolve and you counter the next one when it comes out of the graveyard as a 6/6. I'm not going to pay 2 life. Because I'm not going to shove Teferi into Mystical Dispute, I can cast Teferi with 3 mana up next turn. Up to the top. That sucks. So, like, the only cards they would keep are Inverter or Dig. Unless they have some, like, sideboard card, like Pack Rat. Thought Erasure. Alright, I've lost my Teferi. But I can still escape Euro next turn without getting disputed. The undisputed champion. That gave me my 5th card in the sideboard, or in the graveyard. Green, green, blue, blue. MTGO is being slightly laggy and making it difficult to click on these cards. Alright, found them. Did they find another dispute? Nope, they just discarded their card. Got it. I'll accept that too. Alright, so now we have a 6/6 in play. So they have a real clock they have to respect. Are they also going to have a 6/6 in play? Looks like it. Oh no, Kalitas. Alright, that's not a... I am so happy that's Kalitas. Which is a weird thing to say. No one's ever said that before. I forgot that triggers when I attack, too. That's the first time I've attacked with this thing. That's nuts. So now we get to Bring to Light also. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I just want to get Niv here. Like, I could get Unmoored Ego, but I'd rather just get on board, push my advantage here. White and green. And I could even just draw the Unmoored Ego off of Niv right now. Just have my cake, eat it too. I will choose this one. And I drew Unmoored Ego. Easy game, folks. And I have Slaughter Games for the backup. Actually, do I care about Inverter, or do I just want to take their Jace out of their hand? I guess they draw a replacement card. Wielder of Mysteries. Alright. I'm actually going to exile the Jace. And I can Slaughter Games Alright, so they have dig and push. Let's see what their sideboard plan is. They have a Scarab God. 2 Kalitas, 2 Jace. And that's it. Two inverters. 3. Where's their other inverter? Do they have pull from the Blind Eternities? Apparently they only have 3 inverters. Or is this in exile already? Library. Hand. Oh no, that's the revealed cards, alright. Yeah, apparently they only presented a deck with 3 inverters in it. Which might be a hedge against getting Slaughter Games they're egoed. So their hand did have Fatal Push in it. Oh, did you draw Inverter? Oh, Hero's D. Alright, they ripped Hero's Downfall. That's mostly fine. We're still in the Eurodome here. White, blue, other color. Yeah, so I'm gonna bounce the zombie. Bash with Uro. And I think I just Slaughter Games Inverter. Does that even matter? I could also just Bring to Light for another Niv. They have Dig. Oh, they didn't dig in response to Teferi. That's got to be a huge punt. I guess I could Slaughter Games Dig through time right now. That sounds pretty good. Because I know their hand sucks, and I know that there's a dig in it. Alright, so their hand is dig, fatal, or just fatal push. Okay, they're pretty much running out of things to do here. I don't care if they kill Teferi. It's the old Scry 2 Oracle. Erasing my thoughts. Alright, so we lose Bring to Light here. Lose Teferi with it. I'm just going to keep attacking and drawing cards. Yeah, I just think that, like, the mana doesn't matter, but they get a zombie. And I don't want Kalitas to grow. So I'd rather just lose Teferi than give them a zombie and the chance to grow Kalitas. Because, like, also if they get a zombie, they can sack it to Kalitas, which turns on Fatal Push. Or they could just block, or block Uro and turn on Fatal Push. All of those are things to be avoided. Alright, so I can just erase the push. Don't even worry about it. Like, I could have left that on top and just draw it and shoot it straight into play with Uro, but I have so much mana. Like, I'd rather draw a real card. Or just more lands, that's cool too. Alright, so I'll cast the other Uro. Just draw another card. I'm gonna keep this one. Oh shit, that gave them a zombie. Whoops. And it was exiled forever. Alright, that was probably a mistake. That wasn't worth it. So now if they draw Hero's Downfall and kill this Uro, they could reasonably win this game just on the back of Kalidas. Yeah, I worked so hard. I even threw away my Teferi to make sure this didn't happen, but then I let it happen anyway. This is why we test. Let's get these interactions out of the system now. Definitely no blocks. I'm at 35 life. Alright, bring the light. I believe I took Cut to Ribbons out. Yep, there is still a Siege Rhino though. And obviously Niv-Mizzets are still around. So I'm going to attack with Paradise Druid. If they want to trade off with Druid, they'll just die to Siege Rhino, like if they go to 1 here. And if they don't trade off with it, then I got 2 free damage in. And by attacking with it, I force a block. Yeah, block 8. Gotcha. Just cast this off 5 basic lands. So I could just Dreadbore Kalidas, though Niv's gotta just be better. I'm gonna see a third of my deck off this Niv-Mizzet trigger. Like slightly more than a third of my deck. So there's a good chance I'll just find a Dreadbore off it anyway. Alright, my opponent agrees. Alright, so they showed me Scarab God. They showed me Little Jace. Questing Beast is like pretty medium. But if I resolve in Unmoored Ego or Slaughter games, Questing Beast is the way I beat their Planeswalkers. Like they win with Planeswalkers if their main plan fails. So I think I'm off Abrupt Decay, back onto Questing Beast. I guess Dreadbore answers a Planeswalker a lot cleaner than Questing Beast does. But Questing Beast is a lot of fun. Dreadbore also kills Kalitas, though, so alright. Fun is cancelled. Alright, another unplayable one-lander. Ugh. A slightly more playable two-lander, but only barely. I'm going to keep this. And really hope that I draw a Sylvan Caryatid. Really just like a blue land makes this hand totally fine. But Sylvan Caryatid, obviously, the nuts. Alright, we found a land. One step closer to Niv-Mizzet. I'm definitely willing to believe I should have mulliganed that. Like, it's possible that the deck's so powerful that a good 5 is better than a medium 6. Like, just treat it like Tron. Alright, cool. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything because my hand sucks. Let's see if they respect Slaughter Games or if they take Mystical Dispute. I think those are the two choices. Yep. That's kind of cool. Like, that card is just so unbeatable for them that they have to take it even though I have neither the number nor color of mana to cast it. But I didn't draw Caryatid, which is what we were hoping for. One more look at a blue land before the computer goes in the trash can. Ugh. Okay. Abzan mana base is online. Should have kept the Siege Rhino. Yeah, if they just like have the guy here, the inverter. Alright, they didn't. That's good. Alright, blue land, come on. Or a land at all. Okay. So it turns out that running a 5-color mana base is not free. Kalitas. Okay. So if I draw a red land, I can just pick this off. If I draw a blue land, I can bounce it with Teferi. Come on, blue land. Untap blue land. Yes. Alright, we're in business. Please don't Mystical Dispute me. Alright, but even if they have Mystical Dispute, they're down to 1 card in hand. And now my colors are online. Yeah, whatever. Okay, you have a 3/4 lifelink creature in play. So I could go for the Ego here. They have 1 card in hand. It's got to be either land or counterspell. Those are the only things they wouldn't have cast yet. Alright, let's just test this, take some pressure off. Like if they have Mystical Dispute, they can hard cast it here. Alright, they didn't have it. Which, they either didn't have it or just didn't use it. Ugh. Jace is so good. But I have Dreadbore. We're good. Always have Dreadbore. That's the secret to success. Yeah, if I draw another untapped blue land and I can just hold up Mystical Dispute, that would make everything really easy. Not quite, but close. Okay, so their hand definitely isn't Mystical Dispute. They would have used it there. The Jace is really important. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to bring to light here. And I'm going to play my land first. Alright. That protects it with Mystical Dispute, kind of, and also protects me from Censor, which would be the most embarrassing. White, blue, red, green, black. And I'm just going to get Niv here. I already have the ego, so I'm just ready to smash. Just the 5 mana, 5 color divination there. But that's fine. If I can hold up ego at instant speed, I don't think we can lose the game anymore. Oh, inverted. So there's a Jace in this pile. Alright, so I have to ego naming Jace. Alright, so test the grounds with this first. So their card in hand has to be Thassa's Oracle, or else they're just dead. And if it is Thassa's Oracle, okay, so we're going to have to play through that. They have a Drown in the Lock, Kalitas, 2 Disputes, and Thoughtseize. Alright, so their hand is pretty stacked here. Alright, and I can't bounce Inverter because they'd win on the spot if I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drown in the Lock does kill Niv. I better just draw a card. Alright, Thassa's Oracle is the card. Drown in the Lock is their best draw. Because if they draw Drown, I'm just dead in 2 turns to attacks. Alright, that wasn't Drown. There's no basic land in your deck. Stop it. Alright, so it's a race to find a Thoughtseize or a... That's an easy block. It's a race to find a Thought Erasure before they get down to 2 cards in their deck. Alright, we did it. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. black, white, blue, green, red. I'm casting Thought Erasure, targeting my opponent. Now I'm fairly confident they have no ways to win the game left. Except the clock. So it's time to just click fast. Hope Moto stops lagging. But I'll have Uro in play next turn. Alright, so green, blue. Alright, so this gets sacked. And escape it right away. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Magic Online, you're killing me here. All right, now we have a 6/6 in play. They still have Drown in the Lock in their deck. Sorry, I'm not talking or being exciting. I'm just trying to click through this. Alright, so... Oh, there's still a Cletus in the deck? Okay, whatever. Get out of here. And they're dead to this Rakdos' return. Yeah, so they're just dead. Red, black. 2 for good measure. Let's get that hand empty. Boom. Did it. Overpowered. Alright, I'm going to reset the client, try to kick off this lag. We'll be back shortly. Alright, we're back. We're on the play. I'm keeping this. We have a turn 4 Niv-Mizzet. It's all I ever want in life. Let's just hope there's some like fair white deck that I can just goldfish on. But they're probably blue-black inverter if my time in the queues has taught me anything this week. It's that you're guaranteed to play against blue-black inverter at least 3 times in every league. Alright, opponent's on 6. Play Opulent Palace, which immediately tells my opponent what deck we're playing, because only this deck plays Tri-lands. Alright, they're a white deck. Wow, we even have to ferry to time walk them on our transition turn. Like, there's that awkward turn between turn 2 and 4, generally called turn 3, where you can't cast Niv-Mizzet, but you want to. Alright, hopefully they just play some 2-drop. Alright, they just do nothing. Ooh, alright. I think I would rather erase their thoughts. Bugler, Heliod, Marshall. I'm going to take Bugler because that's 2 cards. Top. Probably going to want that one at some point. Alright, I'm going to attack, which, if they draw Stasis Snare, I'm just going to walk myself to the nearest bridge and leap off it. But if they draw anything that isn't Stasis Snare, this is fine. They'll probably just cast Marshall here. Oh, Heliod, okay. That's also a good card. A defensible play. Alright, so I think I get Plains here. This is Sultai. Yeah, so if I get Plains, that gives me the double white for Supreme Verdict later, and it casts the Niv right now. Alright, white, black, blue, green, red. I would like Bring to Light as my Simic card. That was a big one, just full reload. Alright, so I can use Teferi to bounce Heliod, and that'll take off any pressure of them ripping Ballista for the win. Alright, so they have 1 unknown card in hand. They just made their 4th land drop. Alright, so they don't have Collected Company if they're spending mana now. Alright, Marshall. But they do have Collected Company in their deck. Because that's what Benalish Marshall is for. Like, you can Coco into Ballista. Alright, so I'm gonna Teferi, bounce Heliod. And I'm gonna Dreadbore the Marshall. I have Tulsamir if they draw a smaller card. Once I start plussing Teferi, I can just Bring to Light for Utter End in response to Ballista if they ever try to go off and exile the Heliod. There it is. Alright, now we can't lose. I guess Bring to Light for Thought Erasure in their draw step is the same thing. But since it doesn't matter. Collected Company. I'm going to let that happen. Like, the best thing they can do is hit I don't even know what their best thing they can do is. It's probably not Thraven Inspector. Alright, so they're dead on board. I can kill any or all of these creatures at will, so none of this matters. And Offenza. I'm just gonna kill Daxos in response. I don't want them to gain a life, and now they're just dead to Niv-Mizzet. Alright. We'll turn for Niv-Mizzet Goldfish against a white deck. I've just like bringing in 2 cards here. Don't love Thought Erasure against these decks. Questing Beast is probably worse than Thought Erasure though. Like leaving 1 in so you can erase in their upkeep is a big deal. Or in their draw step rather. Alright, on the draw, I'm going to keep this. It ramps really well. This has a turn 4 Bring to Light. Okay, so drawing Dreadbore makes me want to get Swamp with this Fabled Passage. Swamp. Pretty sure I just wanted Dreadbore this creature. Just keep them off Devotion, keep them off comboing. Like, if they played Ballista for 1 counter and it came in with 2, and then I could die to Heliod pretty quickly. Yeah, like, I'm gonna ramp next turn with Uro anyway. Yeah, so there's the Ballista that would have been much larger. So I think Caryatid is a safer play than Uro here. If we draw any untapped land, we get to Bring to Light. Let's hope they don't Collected Company into 2 pump spells, which they can. Like, their deck is kind of built to do that. But I just hope it doesn't happen here. Kind of counting on this Caryatid. Like, if they hit, like, Marshall and Offenza. Okay, fine. We survived. But we are dead next turn. So we gotta draw the untapped land here. Or some way to remove Ballista. Alright, so Ballista... No, we're still dead. Because if I bounce Ballista, they replay it, Daxos triggers, it gets a second counter, then you give it lifelink, GG. Alright. They goldfished faster than us. The old play draw matchup. I think this matchup's a lot more interesting than play draw. I'm just making sounds with my face right now. But they won that one because they were on the play. So interesting thing that happened there, though. Because I blocked the Ballista, they Coco'd on their turn. which gave me a chance to draw the land to utter end their Heliod. Like if they just don't cast anything and they Coco in my end step, it's too late. Alright, I'll keep this hand. It doesn't ramp, but it is interactive at 2 and 3, and we have the 5 mana payoff. Alright, so I want to get... This is tough. I think I want Island. Like, Island doesn't cast Abrupt Decay on turn 2, but I don't think I'm going to need it on turn 2. Like, exactly Walking Ballista is the card that I wouldn't want them to cast. Alright, so Blooming Marsh online. But I just really want to cast Teferi on time. And Abrupt Decay I can do later, but Teferi needs to be on time if it's going to survive or do anything in this matchup. That's awkward that it arrived a turn late to come in untapped, but that's fine. Tempo. Alright, so we're at our 5 mana for Bring to Light. Just gotta make it that far. And Abrupt Decay should make sure that happens. Oh, Heliod. Oh shit. That was a misclick. I should have left up Abrupt Decay. Well, hope I don't die. They would need some sort of fancy tech to kill me this turn, like a Radiant Fountain. Charming Prince, okay. So they're gonna probably gain 3 life. Or no, scry 2, okay. That makes sense also. Alright, so next turn I can Bring to Life as an instant. So we know they have Daxos in hand. And they topped. That's bold. Yeah, instant speed Bring to Light is pretty spicy. Alright, so they're jamming a Collected Company. Alright, that's gonna happen. Because I could Bring to Light for Supreme Verdict also. Oh, this knight is online. I think it's still probably right to Bring to Light for Utter End and get rid of Heliod rather than go for Supreme Verdict. Like, Supreme Verdict takes all this pressure off the board. Like, I don't take anything. But but if I Supreme Verdict and then they just No, okay, so if I Verdict, I have Abrupt Decay to stop Ballista from killing me. So I'm still okay for a long time. Yeah, I should Verdict. All right. Glad I stopped to think about that. Splat. Plus, I'm gonna play Uro. Get this active. I'm gonna hold up Abrupt Decay this time. Not gonna forget. So we know one of their cards in hand is Daxos. That's been in their hand forever. So if they go land, Daxos, Ballista for 1, Daxos will trigger off Ballista, triggering Heliod, making it a 2-2. Then when they go to give it lifelink, I can kill it. No, I kill it in response to the Daxos trigger. Because then they can't just pass the turn. But I have Teferi, so they can't just pass the turn anyway. Okay, here's Daxos. Do they have the land Ballista? And Heliod is a good card when you can actually make it a creature. Like these white-based, like white devotion core-based Heliod combo decks are really good. Because they just have this perfectly reasonable beatdown plan, and then they're also threatening to combo you out. Enelish Marshall. Okay, that's going to come into play. Alright, so I'm going to bounce Heliod next turn with Teferi. I'm just going to Abrupt Decay Marshall right now, and then Heliod will stop being a creature. I can bounce Heliod. That should buy me a turn from getting comboed. And the Abrupt Decay will be the 5th card for Uro, so I'll have a 6/6 in play. Nice, they went after the Marshall. Just a little extra value there for me. They're going to gain a life, so they get to put another counter on something. I hope they put it on Heliod, but they should put it on Daxos. Alright, they figured it out. Nykthos, okay. That's a Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Alright, I'm going to send Heliod out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can Niv-Mizzet with 3 mana still up. So I could find removal spells or discard spells. Yeah, it's time to Niv-Mizzet. Alright, how do I maximize my colors available? So if I don't tap Confluence or Palace, then I should have basically every color available. So green, white, blue, red, black. And I still have my land drop. I'll take the Bring to Light. All right, and I just drew Unmoored Ego, so we're good. Blue, black. I think I'm gonna name Heliod. Sun Crowned. Alright, so they had the whole combo in hand. Alright, yeah, and they scooped it up. Alright. We got over the hump on that one. Another win against Coco Heliod. Alright, sweet. Let's keep this train rolling. Okay, so we're on the draw here. Back for round 4. If one of these lands was green, this is a snap keep. But I got a mulligan this as it stands. This is not exciting, but I'm going to keep it. Like, I would rather keep a handful of lands and keep the faith that I'll get a spell someday than do the opposite. Alright, that's a spell. Alright, I'll start with the Temple Garden. So this maximizes my draws. Like, if I draw a Caryatid or Druid, I can play it because I have green. If I need to Abrupt Decay something, I can just play the Swamp. If neither of those things happen, I can play Fabled Passage, get Island, and be ready for Teferi on turn 3. In the best draw would just be like a different untapped blue source, so I could hold up Abrupt Decay and then Teferi, just on curve. Like Abrupt Decay something, Teferi something else, and then hopefully their board will be empty. We're just playing against another white aggro deck here. Our only job is to stay alive. Like, if every turn the game goes favors me, so I just gotta keep the pressure off and then win somehow. He's lit of Life's Bounty. Aggressive. All right. All right, so we found the untapped blue source. I'm just gonna decay one of these jerks. That'll stop Legion's Landing from flipping. That also, like, get it now while they're tapped out. Heliod, not quite a creature. Ooh, this lifelink vampire is actually troublesome. Oh, these both have lifelink. Jesus. Alright, well, I just have to hope they don't have Ballista, because if they do, I'm dead. Yeah, if they just, like, play Ballista for 1, they attack for 2. Okay. That's not it. This is still pretty scary, though. Creatures that just have natural lifelink are pretty good with Heliod. If you didn't know that already. If you've been living under a rock. Okay, so the good news is there is a basic forest in my deck. So I can play this Caryatid now. Get the forest. I guess I should just decay this thing while I can. And just continue to hope they don't draw a Ballista. Ever. Okay, none of these cards are Ballista. One of them is Selfless Spirit, though, which is one of their best answers to my few outs. Yeah, I don't care what their life total is. I only care what my life total is. Oh, and it seems to be I'm just dead. 5, yeah, they've... Alright. Yeah, that was pretty sick. I was unable to stay alive despite interacting on almost every turn. Powerful stuff. Alright, Blood Baron is in. Dreadbore's in. Don't think I need any of this other stuff. Thought Erasure is not great here. I have to assume they just have ballistas in their deck. If you're a Heliod deck, the ballista's basically free to shove in, so... And having creatures with natural lifelink just makes it even better. So you can cheese out a turn early. Alright, on the play, I'm going to keep this. This hand is not exactly like guns blazing, but it does... I was about to say it does remove Heliod, but my white source and my black source are the same land. So I'm going to need another white or black source to remove a Heliod. Alright, another Teferi. That's probably good. I'll churn through these, advancing my board. Ballista for 1. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to bounce the Ballista. If they want to ping Teferi on the way out, then it means their Ballista's dead. Alright, they want it in their hand. That tells me a lot of what I need to know. Yeah, there's the Heliod. Alright, so... this is going to be down to the wire here. Blue, black. Alright, I can kill a Ballista. I just have to hope they can't gain a life somehow or put a counter on their Ballista this turn. Gideon, okay. So they're just going to dance around it a little bit. Yeah, that's why these decks are good, because it's like, if this was just a pure combo deck, I'd have them covered, I'd have time to breathe. But it's not. It's much better than that. Dreadbore. That's probably pretty good. I already have Decay. I only have 1 black mana, which is the problem, and only 1 white mana too. If I could utter on this Heliod, the pressure would just be totally gone. I guess I have to just leave my mana up. I plus Teferi so I can Dreadbore at instant speed. I just want to make sure I don't just literally die. Alright, I'll pick that off now. Alright, more Planeswalkers. Making a cat. Okay, so now I am dead next turn if I can't interact. Alright. I have enough lands now. Deck, you can stop. Alright, I'm holding up Abrupt Decay though, so I should be able to pick off the Ballista. If they go for it, I can break it up. If they're patient, I can't. So I just have to hope that they go for it. Boros Reckoner, yikes. Alright, so I have to Abrupt Decay Reckoner right now. And I am dead to their combo if I don't draw a untapped white or black source right now. And I'm dead to their board if I do. So this is bad times all around. Okay, there's that. So if I take... So this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can just get in for 9 right now. 10. Okay, so I get one chance to draw Bring to Light or Supreme Verdict to not die here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm going to 5. All right, let's just Bring to Light for Verdict. Easy game. Dreadbore, that's not it. Yep, run over. Yeah, so this deck being so balls to the wall is bad for me. Like, I would prefer to them to settle in, try to build up devotion. Like when they're just making you dead like that, like decks like Izzet in Soul. Izzet in Soul is kind of a scary matchup. And that's like as fast of a white deck as you can build the combo into. So I think that deck is probably worse against the field in general, but it's a lot better against me who's trying to make it to turn 5 and 6 and beyond. Okay, we're on the draw for the last round. This is pretty much exactly what we want hands to look like. We have all the mana for a turn 4 Niv-Mizzet. We just got to get there. All right, yeah, it's all here. Let's make it happen. So they played, oh, Breeding Pool and Temple Garden. Is this the, oh, it's not the Mirror. That's a Selfless Spirit. I can live with that. So I wonder if this is Bant Spirits or Bant Company. Bant isn't a super common color combination in this format, but I mean, the cards certainly exist. So I have to assume there's a Spell Queller coming my way here. So I could just shove into it, or I could pass the turn. I'm going to pass the turn. I'm not giving them a free quelling. The spirits deck play a bunch of flash threats. There's like this, and there's a 3-mana 2/1 that like taps creatures or something. But so they don't waste their mana when they hold up spell queller, but I'm definitely not just depositing a spell into it for them. Alright, so this gives all spirits flash, which is kind of lame because Mausoleum Wanderer can counter Bring to Light for 1 mana. And that's tough beats. I was just going to say Abrupt Decay would be my best draw, because now I can play Teferi. Oh, I guess the Selfless Spirit still eats it, but okay, so alright, I'm still going to make this play. So, green, black. I need to get white with this. Alright, so I can use the Abrupt Decay to force the Selfless Spirit to pop. And I can do it. I guess I have to do it now. Because Rattle Chains can grant hexproof. I guess I should think about this for a second. No, I'll just do this now. Yeah, Selfless Spirit, real good card. That's alright. That was going to happen eventually. But that means that Bring to Light for Supreme Verdict is now a viable line, which it wasn't last turn. And I can play around Mausoleum Wanderer because I have an extra mana. And Supreme Douche Lord. Yeah, this looks like a good time to Supreme Verdict. Wanderer still counters Bring to Light though. So if I have Bring to Light 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if I cast Teferi, what happens then? If they have Rattle Chains, they can give this hexproof. But then if I bounce the other Rattle Chains, that's 3 damage off the board. Alright, I'm going to try for a Teferi. Like, they can't Mystical Dispute, and they usually don't play that in the main. I guess they could flash in a Selfless Spirit because they have Rattle Chains, but that doesn't stop this from happening. Whatever they're going to do they have to do it now because of Teferi? Alright, so it was Rattle Chains. Alright, so I have to bounce this to get damage off the board. Alright, I'm in some trouble here. Maybe I just had to go for the Supreme Verdict. Whatever, I'll do that next turn. So, if they have another lord, I die. If they don't have another lord, I probably win. So they can put me to 1. I can still bring to light without using mana confluence. If they spend any damage killing Teferi, that's just good for me. But they play 8 lords, so it's possible, likely even, that they have one. This the Bant version probably has Collecting Company also. So it's not looking good, but they have to have it. That's what I'm saying. Actually, I guess if they attack Teferi with Supreme Phantasm and me with the other 6 damage, I just lose. Because if I Wrath, they can just end step Rattle Chains as a 2-1. So I have to hope they ignore Teferi. Oh, Dramoka's command? That just kills me. Yeah, so they just have 7. I'm not going to concede. I'll make them think about their attack. I'm sure they just go for lethal, but in case they have another plan. Like if they try to get cute, pick off the Teferi. Nope, they figured it out. Alright, we're dead. This deck is really good, the Spirits decks. The deck beats me a lot, but I haven't tried it yet. I also haven't seen a lot of Bant, but the straight blue-white version definitely is real good. Alright, so Unmoored Ego is not what we're about here. Tulsamir is exactly what we're about. Questing Beast is just a 4/4. I probably want Dreadboard, just any spot removal I can get. This is probably a matchup where Siege Rhino is great. And I gotta got one more thing. Thought Erasure is pretty good. Maybe it's good enough that I only want one, though. Or maybe it's just Nahiri. Like, Nahiri's kind of a big, expensive, awkward spell in this matchup where everything has to be tight. Is it time for Sirach? He's been in the sideboard for 9 matches now. Maybe it's time to bring him in. And the game would have to get pretty scrappy for Sirach to matter. But maybe that's fine. No, I'm off it. Chickened out. Yeah, Sirach is like just for big control decks where they give you lots of time and try to hide behind counter spells. That's not really what this is. A hand with non-functional mana. We're getting used to those. I will keep this. Got the turn 3 Siege Rhino. Let's see if they can hang. Alright, I've been complaining about Siege Rhino all night, so let's let him pay the bills here. In before Spell Queller. take damage, go. Alright, white, green, black. Perfect timing on that. Black, green, white, boom. Rhinoceros. Really hope they don't have an answer to this. I want to make them play from behind, which is not what Spirits ever wants to do. So what could they have? They could have Aether Gust. Petty Theft. Okay. That's not really an answer. It stops the Niv-Mizzet that's coming next turn. But I get my Rhino in play. That's what matters. That's the biggest creature in... It's bigger than any of their creatures. Brazen Borrower is not well matched for a Siege Rhino fight. Ooh, we just have the Supreme Verdict this game. That's pretty exciting. Alright, so they'll probably Queller this just to like get some value out of their spell. I left up Botanical Sanctum to make them think about Mystical Dispute, but like I don't think they can play around it. They are just dying to my Rhino. Rattle. Alright, so I can attack with both of these next turn and still Niv-Mizzet. Just in the red zone. Alright, so I think if I attack with Paradise Druid, they won't be able to resist just throwing their Queller in front of it. I guess all spirits have flash right now. Oh, that's a bird spirit. Who knew? Alright. So they're going to eat my druid, but then I get to sneak Niv-Mizzet in unmolested. White, black, green, red, blue. I will choose Uro between my choice of Uro and Uro. Alright, let's see. How hard can they tempo me before they just lose? And we got this hiding back here. In case they do have some like cool sequence of like Brazen Borrower and Aether Gust to clear my board, I can just Wrath it all away. Regrow. Alright, they're thinking about what to do with this breeding pool. Alright, came into play tapped, so they must have decided their hand's not that good. Alright, so if I green black, If I thought Erasure, I can also Teferi. Oh wait, no, that's blue-black. Blue-black. Yeah, that's the same thing. All right. They've seen these 3 cards off of Niv-Mizzet. So they've already made choices based on knowing that I could Thought Erasure plus Teferi them. Tap target creature. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see, do they have another 1-drop spirit? Because that would be pretty lame. They do not. They have double Mystical Dispute. Okay. Opulent Palace. That can go in the graveyard. It doesn't help me next turn. And the game's not going to go that much longer. So every block they have is a 2-for-1. Like, these just have 4 toughness between them, and if they block with this, I order it first, and then the Anthem effect goes away. So, if they're going to block, they're getting 2-for-1. And if they don't block, they're at 3 and dead to this Rhino. Which means that I need to cast some spell this turn to get this Mystical Dispute out of their hand, because I don't want to get Rhinoed. Or I do want them to get Rhinoed. I don't want Rhino to get disputed. It's an undisputed Rhino. Alright, I'm going to go with Euro, which they might not even counter this. Alright, they didn't. That's fine. Okay, that's even better. Alright, what did you draw? A Collected Company is probably their best card in their whole life. But based on where things stand right now, I could just move into combat. They'll probably have to tap my creatures if they can, or just make horrendous double and triple blocks. Ooh. Alright, so they must have drawn a spirit, so they can tap the Rhino, then chump Niv-Mizzet. That's got to be their plan. But if that's their plan, hopefully the spirit will cost more than 1. Alright, so they have a Rattle Chains. That means I can Rhino with Dispute backup, so they are dead. This is not the creature I would have tapped. Because this one doesn't trample, this one does. Like, they could have tapped Rhino. Alright, maybe if their plan is to double block anyway, removing the Trampler is better. Okay, that's fine. Green, white, black. Rhinoceros time. And we'll flourish it off with a nice big counter war. Alright, Siege Rhino did its job. It hasn't been in play at all in the first 9 matches of the night, but here in round 10, doing some heavy lifting. Right, I'm not sure if I can improve my deck here. I guess Lifelink Pro White is pretty good. Like, if this thing sticks, they're going to have trouble removing it, but it is a 5-mana spell, and I'm on the draw. Alright, I'm just going to have to run this, hope my mana's good. Okay, I'm definitely keeping this. I have 2 Fixers, 2 Rampers, and the best single card in my deck against this strategy. And it gets Quellered and Selfish Spirited, but it's still, like, one of the best single cards, so I'm in. Supreme. So I have a choice here. I can just Dreadbore this thing right now while the getting's good. I think I want to do that. This represents a lot of damage over the course of a game. But if I play Caryatid, then next turn I can go Druid and Dreadbore. But next turn they'll have Rattle Chains and Spell Queller available to mess with that plan. Yeah, I'm just going to pick this off. It represents a lot of damage. Botanical Sanctum. I'll put the Fear of Mystical Dispute in them. They weren't afraid. I'll just sit here, pretend to think about it for a second. And it's fine. So I'm fine getting these Quellers out because I want to set up this Supreme Verdict. And if I just have like multiple spells under Quellers, then when I Verdict, I just also get 2 Mana Dorks. Which is pretty gross. I'm going to need a second white source to make this plan happen, though. Another Bring to Light. So if they don't fight over this, then I can Verdict next turn. If they do fight over it, then I can Bring to Light next turn. Wow, I wonder if they just have 3 Quellers, or if they think this is the axis they need to play on. Like, if their hand is just triple Queller, that's pretty brutal. But I need a white source or it doesn't matter. But I can Bring to Light next turn regardless. Okay, that's a white source. So if they have Queller, Supreme Verdict is a huge liability. But if they have like Rattle Chains, what am I casting with Bring to Light? I probably just get Niv or Rhino. Maybe I just get Tolzamir. So if I bring to light for Tolsimir, I can fight a thing. Rattlechains bricks it. I really don't want to get bricked by Rattlechains. So Niv would be large and in charge. Though they might just have Mystical Dispute also. I'm going to go for the Verdict. And just hope they didn't have 3 Quellers in their top 11 cards. Okay, they didn't. So that makes me believe their hand is like Rattlechains and Mystical Dispute. Like, one of two things is going to happen here. They're going to deploy a bunch of flash threats in my end step, or they're going to lose. Okay, so they had a flash threat. Like, if their hand was just a bunch of counterspells there, I'm probably in good shape. Alright, I am at 8 life. Gotta watch out for that. So, black, red, green, blue, white. All right, so I can do this and play around Mystical Dispute. All right, so I could get Niv, or I could just get Rhino. I could get Tolsimir. I'm really worried about Rattlechains, though. I don't want to just, like, get Tolsimir and then be dead. Yeah, I guess I just get Niv, huh? Yes. Do people just forget that you can pay 3? I don't know. I've had a lot of opponents tonight who just, like, jam Mystical Dispute when it doesn't do anything. But I guess maybe it stopped the thought erasure I just drew. So they have 1 card left. They could reasonably tempo me out. Like, if they go, like, Rattlechains, tap Niv, attack for 4, then tap Niv, attack for 4 again. But their hand has to be, like, absolutely perfect for that to matter. All right, Eagle. Okay. Yep. So they are getting aggro here. Okay, so they're going to put me to 5 here. Okay, so I can thought erasure them to make sure the coast is clear and then bring to light. So black, blue. All right, coast is clear. Yes, put that in my graveyard. But I'm going to bring to light for Tolsimir, kill Eagle, and then I'm just super stable. All right, white, red. Oh, that's not how this works. White, black, red, green, and blue. Tolsimir. So now I'm at 8. They lose their Lord. And they're on a pretty quick clock. They just have a land in their hand. And concede box. Pop it up. There it is. All right. All right, so another 3-2, back-to-back 3-2s. So these are my 2 leagues with 5-color Niv that I did. This one's completely recorded. This one I lost these 3 matches when my power went out. I have these 2 matches recorded, but I don't know if just posting like loss in the middle of a game is really worth posting at all. But yeah, we have these ones. 2-1 against blue-black inverters, pretty sweet. Also, I guess did we split with? So 2 wins against Heliod, 3 wins against Heliod, 1 loss. All right, 3 wins, 1 loss against Heliod is pretty good. Overpowering Band Spirits there was pretty sweet. Like, Band Spirits operates on like a razor's edge where it's just like, I get a little bit ahead and like counter it, queller it, you're dead. But if you break up their house of cards, everything falls apart. Like that game when they like quellered 2 of my spells and they were way ahead, and then I wrathed and then I got my spells back. So it was like they never quellered anything. So anyway, this deck is real sweet. Sirach is not good. Don't play this card. I never brought it in. Siege Rhino lifted its weight right at the very end there. Every other card in the... I never brought in Infernal Reckoning either, but I didn't play against Izzet Soul, which is like basically the only thing it's for. But otherwise, all of these other cards filled their roles, and this deck's real sweet. I'm definitely going to be looking at this more moving forward into the PT because blue-black inverter is really popular, and I like that I have a good matchup against that, and I seem to have a good matchup against Heliod also. So thanks for watching. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Hopefully there will be, well, not hopefully, there will be more testing. I'm basically just running leagues all day, every day until the PT. So thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.